Okay, so you've got your printer assembled and you have your filament loaded. Now you're ready to actually begin your first 3D print. So how do you actually start this? How does your printer know what to print? So the first thing you have to know is that you have an SD card inside of your printer. And so this is actually a micro SD card and also sometimes called a TF card. And this little thing, as small as it is, contains all the information that your printer needs to know what to print. So when you are designing your own prints or when you're downloading someone else's, then you'll want to insert this card into your computer, save the file onto it, and then bring it over to your printer so that it will know what it is that you want to print. So you take your card and you insert it into the printer, and you want to make sure that the letters are facing up. So there is a right direction and a wrong direction, and it really does depend on your printer, but on the Ender 3, make sure the letters are facing up and push it in until you feel it click, and now your card is loaded. So if I come over to the right side of my printer, I'll see this red switch. So I want to click down and I'll see that it begins to turn on. I can hear the cooling fans fire up, and so I know that the printer is running. So once I have the power on, I want to check my printer's filament, make sure that it's loaded properly. And I want to check my printer bed. Now my printer bed is currently already attached, but let me show you how to attach it in case yours is not. So here is my plate that's no longer attached. You want to make sure that this plate is clean before you begin any print. If it's not, you want to wipe it off with some rubbing alcohol and paper towel. And once you know that it is clean, you want to lay it on top of the metal part and try to line it up as closely as you can. And then when you want to take your bicycle clips and insert those on each of the corners, it's important that you only do it on the top and the bottom and not on the sides. I only have 3 bicycle clips now because I inserted them on the sides once. So make sure that you only insert them on the top and the bottom. If you put them on the sides, they get caught on the sidebars here and will break. So make sure that you put them on the top and the bottom of your plate. And once you have that lined up, your plate is ready to go. So now that I've made sure that everything is ready, I am ready to actually begin the print. So to do that, I'm going to come over to the screen and click on the knob. I'm going to scroll down to where it says Print from TF. So remember in the beginning we looked at that little tiny card. It was called a TF card, and so that's why I want to choose the option to Print from TF. Now I'm going to see a list of options, and most of these options were standard things that came on the TF card. So when I opened my printer from my box and I got that TF card with it, these were things that were already on there. There are a few things that I can print that were pre-installed, like the pig and the dog and the cat. But there's one other thing down, if I keep scrolling to the bottom, that I saved from my computer onto the card so that I would be able to demonstrate how to print it. So find whatever it is on that card that you want to print, and then click the knob. Now you're going to see that the printer is going to begin heating. And so on the screen I can see that the nozzle is currently scheduled to heat to 215 degrees. And the bed is supposed to go to 40 degrees. And I can also see the temperatures that they are currently at 63 and 29. I can see that how much has been completed. Right now, 0%. This will also tell me how long it's been going. And so this is just information on the screen that will help me understand better what's going on. I can also use the screen to make adjustments. For example, I usually find that PLA prints better if the bed is 60 degrees rather than 40 degrees. So to make that adjustment, I'm going to click on the knob, change to tune, select bed, and scroll until that is 60 degrees. And then I can click the knob to go back, scroll back up to main to go back, and scroll back up to info screen to get me all the way back to the beginning. Now I can see that I've heated the bed up to 60 degrees, and so it's going to wait until it gets 60 degrees before it begins printing. So you want to watch as it completes the first layer. It's always a good idea to see that it finishes that first layer, because if anything is going to go wrong on a 3D print, you can usually tell it's going to go wrong on the first layer. After it's finished the first layer and you see that everything looks good, you can go away and let your printer do its thing and just check on it every once in a while to make sure nothing has gone wrong. So my 3D printer printed that first layer just fine, so I don't need to do this, but sometimes it doesn't. So if your printer messes up on that first layer or at any time during printing, it's important that you know how to stop it. So to stop a print at any point in time, you click on the knob and just scroll down to where it says Stop Print. That will abort the print and allow you to remove the plate, clean off any filament, and start everything over. Notice I also have the option here to pause print, so if I needed to change filament or just check on something, I can do that as well. Now notice on the home screen here, I can tell how much of my print has completed. So I can tell here that I've been printing for 7 minutes and that 3% of the print has completed. And so I'll wait until that is at 100%, and then I can come back and see what turns out.